You ever just wanted to throw your printer out a window? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, it turns out there's this hidden science that's trying to stop our gadgets from making us lose our minds. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on it. Let's do this. You know that feeling, right? That moment of just pure rage when a machine that's supposed to make your life easier does the exact opposite. It feels like you've been completely outsmarted by, I don't know, a toaster. It's the worst. I mean, for real, think about it. Ever been completely defeated by a photocopier? You walk up to it with like one simple task, and 10 minutes later, you're standing there wondering where it all went wrong in your life. It is the absolute classic example of tech just not cooperating. Okay, so let's paint a picture here. You've meticulously set everything up, right? 15 copies, sorted, stapled, perfect. Then you see it, this big, friendly-looking button with a C on it, and your brain goes, oh, C, of course, that's for copy. So you press it to get things going, and poof, all your settings are gone, wiped clean, because that C, it stood for clear. Absolutely infuriating, right? But listen, and this is the most important part of this whole thing. That wasn't your fault. Seriously, it's not on you. That is 100% the result of bad design. And believe it or not, there's a whole field of study dedicated to making sure that exact feeling of frustration never happens again. So what's this magical field called? It's human-computer interaction, or HCI for short. That's the fancy name for the science of, making our tech work for us and not the other way around. And if you look at the official definition, what's so cool about it is that the focus isn't just on the computer part. It's all about the interaction, that space between us and the machine. The whole point is to make that conversation, that interaction, feel successful and, not miserable. Maybe even enjoyable? So let's break that down, because the name itself really tells you everything you need to know. You've got three parts: the human, the computer, and the interaction. Okay, first up, the human. That's you, that's me. And HCI doesn't just see a generic user. No, it looks at how we're wired, how our eyes and ears work, how we learn things, how we forget things, even how our culture shapes what we expect a piece of tech to do in the first place. Next, the computer. Now, this is super important. When we say computer, we're not just talking about your laptop. In the world of HCI, a computer is literally any interactive technology. Your phone? That's a computer. A website? Computer. That confusing ticket machine at the airport? Yep, computer. Heck, even your old VCR accounts. And last but not least, the interaction. This is where the magic happens. It's that crucial space in between where designers try to figure out how to get us, humans, and these machines to actually understand each other. It's all about building a bridge so they can communicate without, a total meltdown. Okay, so if that's the whole point, how do you know if you've actually succeeded? Well, it all comes down to one single massive concept, the most important word in all of HCI, really, and that word is usability. So what does usable actually mean? Well, think of it like a checklist. First, it's got to be easy to learn, so you're not lost from the get-go. But it also has to be easy to remember how to use for when you come back to it weeks later. Of course, it has to be effective. It needs to, do the thing it's supposed to do. And it better be efficient, so you're not wasting your life clicking through a million menus. A usable system is also safe. It stops you from accidentally deleting your most important file. And hey, here's a thought. It should actually be enjoyable to use. What a concept, right? All right, that all sounds great. That's the dream. But how do designers actually make it happen? How do they build something that ticks all those boxes? Well, it's not magic. They do it by following some really fundamental principles. One of the absolute biggest ones is a concept called affordance. It sounds kind of academic, but the idea is simple. An object should scream at you how it's meant to be used. Think about a doorknob. You just know you're supposed to turn it. And in the digital world, the perfect example is the original iPhone's slide to unlock. That little shimmering arrow in a track, it just afforded sliding. It visually begged you to swipe your finger across it, and just like that, it taught millions of us a brand new way to interact with a device without a single written instruction. And you might think this is all, a modern Silicon Valley thing, but it's not. This idea of making our tools work for us, man, that quest has been going on for more than 100 years. It all kind of started after World War I with something called human factors engineering, basically studying how our bodies work with machines. But it got real, like life or death real, during World War II. Pilots were crashing perfectly good planes. Not because they were shot down, but because the cockpits were a confusing mess. So designers rethought the layout, made the controls more intuitive, and literally saved lives. That mindset carried into the computer age in the 60s, and then boom. In the 1980s, the graphical user interface, the desktop, the mouse, the icons we still use, was born, and the field we now call HCI finally got its name. Okay, so we've gone through the history, we've talked about the principles. What's the big takeaway here? If you remember one thing from all this, what should it be? Well, it all comes down to one core, powerful idea. It's this idea right here. People should not have to change. The system should be designed to match their requirements. Think about that. It's so simple but so profound. We shouldn't have to contort our brains to figure out some bizarre machine logic. The machine, the software, the app, it should be designed to fit us, to fit how we think, how we work, and what we need. So when you boil it all down, it's this. Good design empowers you. It feels invisible. It just gets out of your way and lets you do what you want to do. Bad design? It does the opposite. It puts up a wall and just makes you feel, well, frustrated and dumb. So I'll leave you with this question. Look around you right now. Look at your phone, your smart TV remote, the dashboard in your car. Now that you know what to look for, what's that one piece of technology in your life that just absolutely, desperately needs to be redesigned for you?